Today's video is presented by our newest sponsor, Aura. We will tell you all about them later on in today's video and the exclusive deal they are offering Steelers Talk viewers. But today's show is all about potential trade targets for your favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've got 5 of them in total. But the show is not just about me or producer Jeremy or bodying Browns Report host Matthew Peterson. We want to hear from you guys as well. So I have a challenge for you. Give me your best Steelers trade ideas in the comment section right now. Whatever the best trade ones are, we will feature on a specific Steelers trade mailbag. In particular, put them at the pinned comment because it makes my life and producer Jeremy's life just a little bit easier. But we want to hear from you. Put your best Steelers trade ideas in the comment section right now. First up on my list is Andre Dillard, the offensive tackle for the Steelers, as a potential left tackle option. Yes, Dan Moore is in place right now at the position. He was, although young, not that great this past season. He had his ups and plenty of downs as well. Dillard is a former first-round pick who I believe can still be a very, very good left tackle in the NFL. Now, he allowed quite a few hurries last year, only the 1 sack, only the 1 hit, and historically has played way better on the left side of the offensive line than he has on the right side. And in Pittsburgh, he would unquestionably be a left tackle option for Pittsburgh. He is not a premier run blocker necessarily. It's part of he played in that offense at Washington State, right? But he's been pretty solid overall when he's been on the left side. Has he been as good as Jordan Mailata? No, he is not. But that makes him obtainable for Pittsburgh, and he wouldn't have to move that far, which is always a nice boost as well. Eagles have high asking prices in trades. I think a third-ish could be enough to bring him in, and at minimum, now you've got a really good left tackle battle between Andre Dillard and Dan Moore. The loser can be your top backup. I think we'd all feel a lot better about the Steelers' offensive tackle grouping if they were to trade for Andre Dillard. Now, when it comes to these two, I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is the better left tackle? Type in AD for Andre Dillard or type in DM for Dan Moore. Get those votes in for me in the comment section right now. Let's go to defense now. How about Trayvon Mullen, the Raiders corner, as Vegas this offseason in particular has undergone a significant overhaul with their pieces and their regime. Massive change there. And I'm not sure how much Mullen is loved by this new regime. And only 5 games played last year, put up decent numbers, 1 INT, 4 pass breakups. I don't know if he's ever going to be a true number 1, but I think he's better than what Levi Wallace is currently for the Steelers. And I would feel, again, better about this organization in the event they were to add a player like Wallace. And in Mullen, I think you replace Wallace, make him your number 3 on the outside. You feel great about that grouping now between Mullen, Witherspoon, and Wallace. Is it like the best cornerback room in the NFL? No, absolutely not. But what do we know about the NFL? You can never have enough good corners or pass rushers as well. Those two are intrinsically tied with how they impact the field. You've got the pass rushers pretty much right now in Pittsburgh. Adding another corner would be the ideal outcome, especially when you look around the AFC North. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, if he's not suspended. That's a really good and challenging opponent quarterback schedule that you face 6 depending on with Watson is suspended, of course, times a year. So with all those good QBs in the AFC North, I would love to find another at least above average starting corner in Trayvon Mullen. I'm excited to tell you guys about Aura, the newest sponsor here at Chat Sports. Aura is a simple, all-in-one online safe tool to help you protect your identity online. That includes financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, because it's not a joke, online and device security for you or your entire family. And Aura is offering you a free 14-day trial when you go to aura.com/chatsports. That link, by the way, will be in both the comment section and in the description as well. You'll be shocked to learn how often your personal information ends up stolen or available online. I know my credit card has been hacked multiple times through no fault of my own, just so we're clear on that, before I began using Aura. They help you keep track of your finances and set alerts for suspicious activity. It's a 14-day free trial. Cancel at any time, so there's really no reason not to at least protect your information for a little bit. Head over to aura.com/chatsports today. Let's move on now to my next trade target. That is Daron Payne, the very talented defensive lineman who surprised the Commanders' treatment of him. They're a weird organization, if we're being honest there. Payne's production for a predominantly run-stopping defensive tackle is impressive because he's not just a two-down player. He's not that throwback defense lineman who doesn't bring you anything on third downs. Payne brings I'm going to say it, Payne on third downs. A ton of quarterback hits this year, almost doubling his previous career production. That upward trend is impactful and matters when a team like Pittsburgh is looking to add a potentially expensive trade asset. Again, maybe a third or a fourth round pick, somewhere in that range. If Stephon Tuitt is healthy, I love what this team has along the defensive line. I am worried about him being healthy, and I think there are many of you who feel the exact same way right now. I would argue Cam Hayward, of interior defensive linemen not named Aaron Donald, is probably up there with one, if not the outright best player. Tyson Alualu is not Daron Payne. I know there are some Tyson fans in the comments, and I respect your opinions. I think DeMarvin Leal is a year or two away, and there's a reason why there were so many names on that depth chart. I think defensive line internally is a slight area of concern for the Steelers, and it is for me as well. A front of Payne, of Hayward, and pick Leal or Stephon Tuitt, that is the best three-man front in the entire NFL. That will dominate teams and allow you to continue to win off the strength of your defense. So what is the position that you are the most worried about? Is it defensive tackle? Is it something else altogether? Sound off for me in the comments section right now. Let's move now to Myles Gaskin, the running back who, in Miami, they've added all of the running backs this offseason, I believe making him very much affordable and obtainable. I think you're talking a late day 3 pick if you want to go get Myles Gaskin. And the reason why I am intrigued by him is he's had better production and behind honestly, a worse offense line than what Pittsburgh had last year. That Dolphins unit had 1 to 2 good football players. Now, Gaskin was not dynamic or explosive or like a elite player, but he did still put up 612 yards. The average is not impressive, and he does offer you third down value. God forbid Najee Harris gets hurt. Who here really trusts a depth chart consisting of Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland and some undrafted free agents, even if the Steelers' offensive line is better this year? I certainly do not. So if I could acquire Gaskin for a 6th, a 7th round pick before the season begins, I would have a lot of interest in that for Pittsburgh. If you have not already, please subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to 14,000 subs here at Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. We are less than 500 away, one away from a very nice 469, but we're going in the right direction, so it's fine. If you haven't already, please subscribe. YouTube.com/Steelers TV for more free Steelers videos. One more, and I almost call this a wild name, but it's fun. I think the best player on this list, that is Robert Quinn, who allegedly, if we believe Jason La Canfora, which sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, he wants out of Chicago, and he probably wants to play for a contender, and the Steelers, of course, made the postseason last year. Now, Quinn would be expensive with both the cost of his contract, a potential issue, and the draft pick required to obtain him. It is also very rare that you see a player who had 18.5 sacks in 2021, was injured for most of 2020, and 11.5 sacks in 2019 become available in a hypothetical trade market. Now, I don't consider edge a huge need for the Steelers. We, of course, all love TJ Watt, and I believe Alex Highsmith is a very good edge too and a great football player. But in the event I could acquire Quinn and pair him opposite TJ Watt and make Alex Highsmith my number 3 edge, damn, that's such a good duo and trio there. Quinn and TJ Watt together is terrifying for opposing QBs, especially with some, offensive tackle concerns for teams like the Bengals and Browns and even the Ravens in the division. That defense, if they were to add Quinn, would become one of the best in the entire NFL and would make you feel better about potential issues you might have at corner or with Stephon Tuitt if he's healthy. So my top 5 trade targets here: Andre Dillard, Trayvon Mullen, Daron Payne, Myles Gaskin, Daron Payne. There's no day. Daron Payne, Myles Gaskin, and Robert Quinn. So if you haven't already, please take advantage of the end of this video and let me know a player who you guys want to trade for in the comments section.